It's been a big week for Xiaomi. First, it's officially joining the foldable phone game after unveiling the Mi Mix Fold at a 2-day keynote this week. This is an actual phone that's going to be retailing in China for 9,999 yuan, or about 1,520 US dollars. And it's quite different from the prototype we saw from the company about 2 years ago. Then there's the Mi 11 Ultra, which has a dedicated screen for selfies on the rear. Plus, the company confirmed its plans to go into electric cars. Whew! Let's start with the Mi Mix Fold. Instead of folding outwards like the prototype that we saw earlier, the phone that Xiaomi is actually selling bends in on itself, like Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 2. The Mi Mix Fold uses an 8.01-inch flexible OLED screen with a 2480 by 1860 resolution on the inside and a 6.52-inch AMOLED on the outside. There's a 20-megapixel selfie camera in the top right corner on the all-screen front and a triple camera system on the back. Like Xiaomi's earlier flagships, this features a 108-megapixel main sensor with a 13-megapixel ultra-wide sensor. But rounding out the trio is a new 8-megapixel bionic camera, which uses a liquid lens. It sounds a little hard to believe, but instead of glass, there's a packet of fluid here that Xiaomi says is manipulated by a motor to change between telephoto and macro modes. In theory, it's kind of genius, but we'll need to see how this actually works before we can commit to such a superlative. And you don't need to worry about the liquid freezing too. Xiaomi says this will stay in liquid state at temperatures of up to -40 degrees Celsius or -40 degrees Fahrenheit. At 1,520 US dollars, the Mi Mix Fold is actually about $500 cheaper than the Galaxy Z Fold 2 and more than $1,000 less than Huawei's Mate X2. But somehow Xiaomi still managed to squeeze in some impressive guts despite that lower price. Not only does the Mi Mix Fold use a top-of-the-line Snapdragon 888 processor, but the base model also comes with 12 gigs of RAM and it goes up to 16 gigs of RAM. It also comes with a 50-20 mAh battery that supports 67-watt fast charging. In addition, Xiaomi also packed what it calls a butterfly-type cooling system in the Mi Mix Fold and has some software tweaks to make that big open screen more useful. These include things like a start menu, split screen, and drag and drop support in Xiaomi's MIUI 12, which is based on Android 10. That's a lot of intriguing features packed into the company's foldable debut. But let's not forget, Xiaomi also unveiled a new regular flagship this week. Well, if you can call it that. Anyway, the Mi 11 Ultra is not your typical smartphone. It has a selfie screen on the back next to the 3 cameras there. This is mostly there to serve as a viewfinder when you're shooting pictures with one of the rear cameras, like a group picture with the wide lens, for example. But it can also show notifications when you have the phone lying on its face on a desk. This isn't the first time we've seen a phone do something like this. Meizu's Pro 7 also offers something similar, not to mention the countless flip phones in ancient history. Is this a trend that's going to start to come back? God, I hope not. Besides its sort of dual screen design, the Mi 11 Ultra has all the high-end specs you'd expect from a Xiaomi flagship. Its 6.81-inch AMOLED screen has a sharp 3200 by 1440 resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate and a 480Hz touch sampling rate. There's a 20-megapixel selfie camera, of course, plus an in-display fingerprint sensor, a Snapdragon 888 processor, up to 12 gigs of RAM, and a 5,000 mAh battery. Yeah, the spec sheet boxes are pretty much all checked. Of course, neither the Mi Mix Fold nor the Mi 11 Ultra look like they're going to be available outside of China for the time being. But it's always nice to see what Xiaomi and other phone makers in that part of the world introduce, since those features tend to show up stateside eventually. That's not all the surprises that Xiaomi had this week, though. In an investor filing, the company confirmed a previous report that it was starting an electric car business. Given the diversity of Xiaomi's product portfolio, which covers everything from smart home devices and smartphones to rice cookers, electric scooters, and more, this news isn't completely shocking. Details are scarce though. We don't know when or where Xiaomi will actually start selling these cars, and according to a Bloomberg report, that decision was made just in the last few weeks, so we'll probably have to wait to learn more. For now though, suffice it to say that Xiaomi clearly has big plans, eye-catching products, and plenty of buzz. So for more on the company's news as well as coverage on all of consumer technology, make sure you subscribe to Engadget. And as always, thank you for watching.